So Inman has an article recommending that agents use auctions to reboot their listings without a price drop. Now we're going to look at this article, but first, I want to cut right to the chase. There is an option out there that is not an auction, but takes all the pros of an auction and the pros of a traditional listing, brings it together, and removes some of those big downsides of both. And that option is the Easy Real Estate Offer platform. An agent and auctioneer himself explains.
When I sit down to a listing appointment, I can share with the seller that Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I can help you sell your house for the most possible money, better than any other real estate agent out there because of my licenses and because of the platforms that I have access to. First, let's talk about a traditional listing.
And if you'd like, you can watch this full, it's a great webinar. You can watch this full thing. He goes into some great information about pricing psychology. Wherever you're looking at this, I'll put a link in the caption or the description. But to get to the meat of it, what is the downside of an auction? And what's the alternative that fixes that downside?
And when we get to the high bid, at that point, if it's an absolute auction, whatever that bid is, the house will sell at that price. If it is a reserve auction, the seller has the right to accept or reject any and all bids. They have two options. And of those two options, they either accept the bid and sell the house, or the auction is over with no sale. And now you have a house that has not been sold at auction because you refused the high bid. And there is a stigma associated with that.
And that's not too different from a traditional listing where a listing sits on the market. Maybe it ends up expired after, the listing agreement ends out. And there's a stigma about that too. Is something wrong with the house?
When you put the house back on the market. So those are the pluses and the minuses of either listing and or selling a house at auction. Dave, I think what you've done with the easy bidding platform is so fantastic because it overcomes objections from both of the previous two examples. We are going to take that house. We are going to allow people in a very transparent way in an online bidding platform, an online bidding event to post their offer openly and transparently. We're watching the buyers say, I will pay more and I will pay more until we get to a point where, let's say, two particular buyers really, really want this house. What happens with the easy platform is that as the agent,
and this is the major benefits, the transparency, the ability to accept and easily manage multiple offers, and the ability and the freedom to negotiate any offer at any time.
I maintain an open, transparent line of communication with both of these potential buyers. And once we get to a set number of high bids where everyone has their final highest and best, and everyone knows what everybody else has, they say, you know what, we can't spend another penny. We're at 315. But when I reach out as the sales agent and say, Mr. Bidder A or Mr. Buyer A, what other contingencies are part of your offer? And Mr. A says, well, we need a 10-day inspection and we need to reserve the right to cancel the sale. And if there's more than $3,000 worth of repairs that have to be done, we want to back out of the contract. So then I reach out to bidder B, who was $4,000 or $3,000 less. But I ask them, what are your contingencies? And they say, John, we're an all cash buyer. No contingencies, will close in 14 days. It's obvious at that point that because we've been transparent, because we've stayed in communication, and because of one single word, in the easy platform, we give the seller the right to accept, the right to reject, or, and this is where it differentiates from auction, the right to negotiate with any and all offers.
And we're going to get into that Inman article, but I want to give another perspective from Alton Jones. He is an EXP agent in California. Something that we don't hear from John in the previous video, is this other benefit of the Easy Real Estate Offer platform where there's the option to get paid through a buyer's premium, which means you could potentially offer your seller, if you're the listing agent, look, I can list your home for as low as 0% commission. Here's how, and you can still get paid. But what does that give you the option to do? If you're on a listing appointment with a seller and they're giving you price objections, especially if it's a FSBO who's already wary about paying a commission to an agent out of their equity, or it's an expired who there's probably a price mismatch. Well, if they know that you have the ability through the Easy Real Estate Offer platform to put 6% in equity back on the table because you have another way to get paid, that gives you a lot more wiggle room to work with the pricing strategy, which means you can price it competitively and attract multiple offers. And then what happens when multiple offers come into the picture and everybody is well aware of the other offers coming in? They can truly see when and how they need to come with their highest and best offer instead of just trying to guess or holding back because they're not really sure if other offers are really there on the table. Alton really breaks it down. And I will link to this video as well. I'm going to sum up. He did a one-time 3-hour open house. He had his lenders there to help qualify buyers that were coming in. A lot of them were unrepresented. So he ended up getting 9 qualified buyer leads out of this open house. He had over 170 people come through because he was able to price it right. And when you find out how much more it sold over the starting price, it was more than the seller wanted in the first place. Alton had a great payday. He's getting additional listings out of it because other people that heard about this technique want to list their home the same way. And he's ecstatic. He's got a forever case study to use in his marketing, his real estate business marketing. But I want you to hear how he breaks down how the bidding process worked. He ended up getting 33 total bids, and every bidder, before they can start making their offers on the Easy Real Estate Offer platform, has to sign and agree to the buyer's addendum as set up. The terms are set up in advance by the listing agent. So these offers are serious offers.
So that's the top bid, 613,000, right? But where did we start? Let's go back to where we started. JV at 553. So we listed at 550. The first bid came the first day, probably within the first half hour of launching the platform. Okay. When it launched on the platform in the first hour, less than the first hour. And as you can see, as we're going through this, somebody else, and you can just look at the names, the JV, we have, the Be Loyal, Limon, and then JV again, and Restoration. And then we have to go to the next page because you only get so many. But then let's go to the bottom again and see what happened. This person came in, CEO, I don't know who that was, but they didn't laugh because JV came in again. And then Limon came in again. And LA Restoration came in again. And then all of a sudden, Sunny comes in. And next thing you know, that's in the day before the bidding. And all of a sudden, the day of the bidding, the morning of the bidding, Michael Ibrahim came in, 589. Then this ML or something came in. And then Simplify came out of nowhere and dropped 592 on it. And then Jeremy came in again and 595. And then JV came out of nowhere and said, hey, yo ain't gonna get this. I was the first person up in this joint. I'm up here. This is gonna be my house. And then Jeremiah said, no, you don't. No, you don't. 598. Then JV said, here I is. 595. And then Jeremy, you see it. It's a knife fight. And then Sonny come out of nowhere and say, pounce it. I'm putting 605 in. And Jeremy comes in, and then all of a sudden JV's not there. And guess what? Sonny's there. And at the end of the day, the highest bid we got 613. Okay, 613.
Now pay attention. This opens up much more windows for negotiation and better terms for the seller for the right deal that works.
You see, you got 1, 2 people fighting this thing, right? Fighting this thing. But JV was the one that started it off, right? JV's right there. He's at 602. So let me ask you folks, who do you think won the bid? Uh-oh.
Jemiah, right?
The highest bidder, right? You think the highest bidder won?
Yeah.
It depends on the terms.
There you go, Billie Jean. There you go. The terms are very important because the highest bidder came with some kind of financing or some kind of contingency. Okay. So, hey, you're going to close in 15 days? You don't want the tenants in there? I got tenants up in here. What you going to do about them? I don't want them tenants. You got to get them tenants out first. Oh, no. Somebody else says, well, I got 50% down. Oh, no. 50% down? Well, someone JV said, I got cash. I'll close in 10 days and I'll take the tenants. So guess what we went with? We went with JV. But like Dave say, Even though they bid at X, right? We can counter that. So JV came up to 608. 608. And on this was a 6% buyer's premium, not a 1%, not a 5%. We did a 6% buyer's premium that they must sign before they start to bid. Before.
No, I will link to this whole thing in the description if you want to see. Alton is great. He shares his entire start to finish process for doing this and how it's creating repeatable business for him. But in the end, Alton ended up having over $33,000 as his payday. That's his walkaway from this. That's awesome. And he's got interested buyers who want to use this same platform to buy their next house. He's got interested sellers who want to list with him because they saw what he was able to do using this tool to run a 3-hour open house to generate multiple competitive offers while using a creative payment structure to make sure the agents can get paid and the terms work for everybody. Everything was transparent 100% along the way. Incredible, incredible stuff. Now that's where we get to what I think is this interesting bit from Inman. Again, easy real estate offer is not an auction. And it is not, you don't need to be a member of a specific brokerage to be able to use the platform. All it takes to get started, and this is for a limited time, you guys, it's a one-time fee, $4.99. You'll get through a full certification course. You'll have support the whole way to list your first thing on the platform, continued support as offers are coming in. Our whole support team is really great on the platform side. So if you want to know more about that, call 844-465-3733 or visit easytogetcertified.com/book if you want to pick a calendar slot. You can speak with one of our co-founders. They'll tell you all about it. I would recommend it even if it wasn't a lifetime offer, even if it wasn't a steep discount right now, even if there wasn't the guarantee, because Alton and John are not the only people thriving because of this new tool they have in their toolkit. But with that being said, let's compare it to what Inman says about how you should use auctions to reboot your listings without a price drop. Embrace the potential of auctions and understand how to navigate their benefits and risks to elevate your approach. New Inman contributor Chad Roffers writes, navigating the dynamic world of real estate requires constant innovation to maintain interest in listings and attract potential buyers. While the common solution for stagnant properties is often a price reduction, I propose an option that will assist you in gaining client trust and give you an edge over your competitors. Here are a few advantages and insights that you can offer to your clients which you may not have considered. Auctions can often be a reasonable solution to many problems. Drawing from my extensive experience in luxury real estate and technology, utilizing auctions as a strategic tool to breathe new life into listings without compromising on achieving market value is a great way to accomplish this. And on its face, I agree for the right transaction. And here he goes on to say that the traditional process often leads to stale listings, lacking the urgency required to captivate buyers in today's competitive market. This is where the innovative approach of auctions comes into play. And this is absolutely true. There is a fear of missing out, a FOMO factor when it comes to the pricing when you're at an auction. The idea of being able to see everybody else in your room also raising and making their offer, one on top of the next, over and over. It creates something that you don't get when people can't see the offers or know that other people are actually truly making offers. He goes on to say that prolonged listing periods often lead to reduced sale prices. Therefore, an interactive auction process is designed to expedite transactions at market-driven prices. So he summarizes the benefits here. And I do also highly recommend go watch John's auction video that we saw a snippet of at the beginning of this video. The links are in the caption or the description. Really, really great breakdown on price psychology and when an auction is right, when a traditional listing is right, and when, I would argue for most sellers in today's market, the Easy Real Estate platform is a no-brainer. Watch that. It's a great breakdown. But here we get a quick breakdown of the benefits of auctions. When you use the reserve price, there is a certain empowerment, meaning you're not forced to sell at whatever the highest bid happens to be. You can set a reserve price. That way you have a little security net. There's also inclusive marketing campaigns. So a lot of auction packages come with a marketing package. And you'll hear John talk about in his video how he had an auction client, a client that initially wanted to use an auction, changed their mind before the auction date. But he'd already done his marketing package for the woman, and it had attracted buyers, and she ended up finding a buyer. So the marketing is another benefit if your auctioneer is doing a good job. Industry connections. You can leverage the best connections in the industry. That's not really expanded on here. Extensive high-end property database, So high-end properties, because remember, the author's background here is luxury. High-end properties require exposure to unique, high-end buyers. Listing your asset at an online auction opens your property up to a world of potential buyers. That's another reason I love the Easy Real Estate Offer platform, is because if you're short on time, it's really easy to get on there and make your bid, make your offer. You can do it from a computer. You can do it from your mobile phone. You don't need to be in person, which is often a restriction of certain types of auctions. If it's not an online auction, but it's an in-person auction and you can't be there. But a great benefit of an online anything is the accessibility and increased visibility. And when more people that are interested in buying something can get exposure to things that they could buy and can easily make an offer on it, what does that do? That drives multiple offers. And then a reputation for excellence is another bullet point here. But the author notes it's crucial to be aware of potential risks. So yeah, there's urgency and excitement, and that's great because, motivated buyers create that fear of missing out. But sellers should exercise caution and be well informed about the potential downsides, such as the possibility of not achieving the desired reserve price or facing a competitive bidding environment that may not favor the seller's expectations. So, all in all, I agree that an auction can be a very valuable tool. It offers an alternative to traditional listings. But I'm going to close out, and I'm sure you can guess that there is a platform that takes that benefit of the urgency, the fear of missing out, knowing what other people are making offers right in front of you. You can bring that under one roof without the same risk and fear of an absolute or reserve auction and the stigma that might come with a reserve auction, the seller deciding, I don't want to take this even though the price was met. You can get rid of those downsides. And you can just use the Easy Real Estate Offer platform. And I highly recommend it, you guys. If you want to check out some agent stories, hop over to our YouTube channel. These 2 videos from Alton and John will be in the description and caption. But if you just want to know more, no pressure, give us a call at 844-465-3733 or book a call at easytogetcertified.com/book. Now, you'll want to do that before this deal ends. If you book a calendar call, we'll lock in the pricing for you for the next 7 days. That way, we'll know that one of the licenses for this is available for you. And it is a lifetime purchase. So if you want to try a new way to get your next listing, have a great marketing value add, and have open and transparent transactions where you have more ways to get paid than just relying on the commission debate solving itself, this is the platform you need to start asking about. Give us a call, 844-465-3733. Thanks so much for tuning in. Check those links in the description. Give us a call.